So, what happened after you had that two? Did you like the way you were playing when you got that 2-0 lead?
Oh yeah, I mean, what is it? 20-something shots to 6. Their goalie made some big saves. Even within that, I thought total control of the game. But that's their team. Like they've got a lot of high skill, and sometimes they'll wait for you to crack, and they take advantage of the opportunities. Like they don't need a whole lot of room. But up until 35 minutes into the game, it's felt like a pretty dominant effort from my vantage point. I haven't gone back and watched it yet, right? But and then a penalty, that's too many. It's 4-4 through 2 periods. We want to play a 5-on-5 game, so we wrap our arms around the guy, and first goal, probably one that Saul would want back. He made a lot of big saves, but probably one he'd want back. And then a couple of the other ones are we turn it over on the blue line, and that's what I'm talking about. Right after that, end of the second period, and that guy goes bar down, gives them life where they probably didn't, deserve it. And then they came out with a boost in the third, and then that shot again outside the dots above the top of the circle, bar down. Like those are some tough breaks from some high skilled players that can finish. So that's the game right there. So it's a lot of good things. It's unfortunate the result for sure, but a lot of good things to build on. And I think coming out of a 12-day break, I loved our juice. I loved our edge. I loved the emotion. Guys are in it. Just got to manage that a little bit so we can play 5-on-5 and not so many specialty situations. And that's the way it should go. Some of their shots went in, some of ours didn't. And so onward, we'll try to reinforce the good and limit some of the bad things.
So, there was no sign of rust. Were you concerned about that?
I mean, a little concerned. I've been through this where, teams, we've had 10-day breaks before, and the first one, some seems a little rusty, and I really didn't notice that with our group, which was impressive. So they came out buzzing, which was great, and like I said, I really loved the first 35 minutes of the game, and then we hand them that second one, and it's a 2-2 game, and it feels like you're playing better than that. But again, they're really talented, good hockey team that if you give them anything, they got a good chance of taking advantage. So we just got to be a little bit more patient with it, and for a full 60.
That second goal, the timing of it, 7 seconds left in the second. What was the message after that one? They even things up.
Well, yeah. First of all, that's tough. We talk about that key minutes in the playoffs. If you watch playoff hockey, it's because emotions are high. It's amazing how many times after a goal, for or against, or end of a period, another goal happens because you ride those emotions more than you'd like to admit. But after the second period, it was we cannot evaluate or change or change our game based on bounces, plays, score. It still has to be. I know it's playoffs and results are the only thing that matters, but it still has to be a process-based approach. And we overall, for the majority of those 40 minutes, we liked 2-2 game. It is what it is. You keep playing. So again. Unfortunate in the third period, they get one about 3 minutes in with a pretty good shot from 92 there, and it didn't go our way. But like I said, a lot of good things to build. Just got to sustain that for a little bit longer.
You said that you prefer 5-on-5 for you get. Were they kind of drawing you into those scrums because there's a lot of maybe not fights, but
yeah, no, I mean it's we've played this team 8 times.
Yeah,
first time of a playoff series. I don't think they were drawing us in. I think we're willing. We're willing to be in there.
I didn't mean that you weren't willing.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, we're gonna. I think that suits our team. We're gonna be in your face. We just have to make sure we're walking that thin line and not going over.
Yeah, that's what
overboard.
I didn't mean that you guys are willing.
Yeah, sure. No. But yeah, two teams that care, that are playing hard, that don't like each other at the moment. So nothing wrong with that.
Obviously, it's a physical game, but it seemed like after the refs kind of calmed some things down, the physicality kind of turned down. That's where they kind of rose up maybe a little bit. Did you notice that a bit? Or?
Yeah, I did think in the final 25 minutes, there were moments where we weren't as diligent with our plan. Yes, we want to be physical. That's the way our teams played. Excuse me. But I thought there were moments we could have in that final 25 continue doing what we were doing that I thought was working from a physical standpoint. And from a puck play standpoint, coming through the neutral zone, right? They score a goal and maybe two, and then you feel like you have to go off script a tiny bit, and that's a real test of maturity this time of year. I think the way that we're going to play and we want to play, we can find offense that way, and we will find offense that way. So, a little bit of a learning lesson there. I think we can do it a little bit longer, a little bit better, and that's what we're going to shoot for in game 2.
All right, thanks.